You think winning requires noise, yet the quiet player advances. Someone appears effortless because the real effort happened deep inside. Listen carefully, your calm face can move pieces without touching them. Most people react fast because silence feels unsafe to their nervous system. Fast reactions create leaks, and your leaks reveal patterns to observant minds. When your patterns show, control shifts away from you without warning. The effortless winner studies reactions, then removes the triggers that cause noise. They train a slow breath, a soft gaze, and deliberate words. They know attention is currency, so they spend it with intention. Your first practice is simple. Count 3 slow breaths before any reply. 3 breaths are not weakness. 3 breaths reset your internal leverage. Silence after a trigger is not retreat, it is calibration. Calibration means you test yourself, not the other person or environment. You watch the tension rise, then watch it fall without pushing back. This breaks the expected loop, so influence returns to your side. Effortless winning begins with emotional mapping, not verbal strength. Emotional mapping means you label inner sensations with clear, simple words. Say to yourself, heat in chest, pressure in jaw, narrow focus. Naming turns raw chaos into information, and information becomes quiet power. You are not avoiding emotion, you are converting it into a signal. A signal guides timing, and timing decides whether effort looks invisible. Most people push when the wave is rising, then drown inside it. You wait, you observe, then you move during the settling phase. That single choice makes outcomes look easy, though discipline built the moment. Next, understand the hidden economy of status and certainty. Status is perceived value, certainty is perceived stability. People test you to measure both, often without conscious intention. They watch whether your state changes when pressure appears. If your state shifts wildly, your certainty score drops in their mind. When your certainty drops, your status follows and influence moves away. Effortless winning protects state first, then moves the pieces second. State protection means you anchor attention on posture, breath, and voice pace. Your posture lengthens, breath slows, voice lands in short, calm sentences. Short sentences reduce manipulation hooks, because hooks feed on loose language. Loose language invites reframing. Calm precision refuses unwanted frames. When you hold your frame softly, pressure exhausts itself against nothing. Recognize the hidden triad of triggers used by quiet controllers. First, urgency, which compresses your thinking into narrow paths. Second, ambiguity, which tempts you to seek quick closure for comfort. Third, approval, which steals your attention by threatening social pain. The manual answer is simple. Expand time, clarify terms, detach approval. Expanding time means you pause, then ask for the next necessary detail. Clarifying terms means you define words, boundaries, and measurable outcomes. Detaching approval means you choose principles over immediate social relief. These moves look small, yet they break 3 powerful invisible leashes. Train your attention like a lens, wide first, then narrow. Wide attention notices context, patterns, and unseen incentives. Narrow attention executes one clean step without wasted movement. People who look effortless shift between both modes smoothly. They scan motives, not faces. They track incentives, not emotions. They ask who benefits if I rush, who benefits if I stall. They ask what frame is being offered, what frame is being ignored. Frames decide meaning, and meaning decides behavior. Hold the frame that protects standards, clarity, and long-term positioning. You do not win by arguing facts when frames are misaligned. You win by choosing the frame that makes noise irrelevant. A calm frame says, I will act only when conditions match principles. That line sounds simple, yet it rewires power in your interactions. Practice the art of clean refusal without explanation loops. Explanations invite debate, debate invites hooks, hooks invite leakage. A clean refusal uses a short sentence with a stable tone. For example, not today, this does not fit our standard. Then hold silence, let the pressure move around you. If pushed again, repeat once with the same language. Repetition signals finality, and finality ends most attempts. You are not cold, you are conserving signal power. Effortless winners do not explain to gain approval, they explain to create clarity. Clarity serves the mission, not the ego. Ego needs display, mission needs results. Results are quieter than displays, yet far more persuasive over time. Learn micro-acknowledgements, they calm storms without surrender. A simple "I see your point" reduces threat without changing your stance. Acknowledgement is not agreement, it is pressure release without positional loss. When threat is low, minds open and information flows. Information is leverage. Leverage reduces required effort. Less effort displayed looks like natural ease to observers. The audience misreads graceful strategy as talent, and that misread helps you. You do not correct them, you protect focus and continue the process. Now study bait patterns that steal your composure. Bait pattern 1, forced binary choices, meant to trap your identity. Answer with a third option, or with conditions that redefine the decision. Bait pattern 2, sudden praise followed by a rushed request. Answer with separation, thank the praise, evaluate the request on criteria. Bait pattern 3, public framing that dares you to react. Answer with time control, remove the stage, continue only in private. Each answer keeps you inside your chosen rhythm. Rhythm control is advanced power, because rhythm directs emotional momentum. People follow the rhythm they feel, not the logic they hear. So you set the rhythm, then you let logic arrive later. Deploy the rule of delayed reveals during negotiation. Do not show all information early, even harmless facts change leverage. Release facts in layers, each layer tied to verified reciprocity. Reciprocity reduces opportunism, and opportunism is where unseen costs hide. Effortless winning looks like simple conversation, but timing holds the structure. You reveal one piece, observe response quality, then choose the next piece. If response quality drops, you pause and reset standards. The pause itself teaches others how to treat you. Over time, people adjust their approach because your boundaries never wobble. Consistency builds your legend, and the legend reduces future resistance. Remove emotional debt by closing unfinished loops. Unspoken resentments are debts that demand attention at the worst moments. List recurring triggers, decide clean resolutions, then execute one by one. Resolve with short agreements, measurable expectations, and true enforcement. Emotional debt paid now prevents costly explosions later. This payment makes your surface calm honest, not forced. Forced calm cracks under heat. Honest calm becomes stronger under heat. Observers feel the difference, and they credit you with quiet authority. Use contrast to make small moves look significant. Speak less than others, then choose one sentence that shifts direction. When noise dominates, a single clear line feels decisive. That line should reference principles, not personalities. Principles age slowly, personalities change with weather. Anchoring to principles shows you cannot be herded by moods. Herding stops where principles anchor, and people respect that boundary. Master the language of conditions and consequences. Conditions are what must exist before action begins. Consequences are what follow if conditions are ignored. State both calmly, then remove your attention if conditions are not met. Attention removal is the ultimate consequence in social power. Where attention goes, influence grows. Where attention leaves, influence starves. You do not punish, you simply stop feeding the system. Systems without fuel slow down, then reorganize around your standards. This is how effort looks invisible, while force never appears. Train your inner narrator to speak in neutral terms. Never label yourself as attacked, label the moment as a pattern. Patterns can be studied, and studies produce upgrades. Call it a pattern, run your checklist, choose the smallest effective move. Smallest effective move reduces exposure, yet creates measurable progress. Over time, compounded small moves become decisive advantages. People watching you assume effortless talent, yet it is structured discipline. Do not chase instant impressions, chase durable positioning. Instant impressions reward flash, durable positioning rewards consistency. Choose consistency, and the market of minds pays you later. Late rewards are larger because compounding has time to work. Compounding requires patience. Patience requires faith in your process. You protect that faith by measuring behaviors, not feelings. When behaviors align with standards, you are winning whether noticed or not. Learn to separate stimulus from story. Stimulus is what happened, story is what you told yourself. Most suffering comes from the story, not the stimulus. Change the story, reduce the suffering, protect the state. A protected state makes strategy easy, and easy looks natural. That natural look is the face of invisible effort. People call it grace, you know it as practiced control. Now refine your daily loop with 3 quiet rituals. First, morning stillness to anchor your baseline before external noise. Second, midday reset to release accumulated tension before decisions matter. Third, evening audit to learn from missteps without self-attack. Each ritual is short, yet the compounding is massive. Massive compounding built in private becomes public elegance. Elegance persuades without arguments, and that is true leverage. Notice how threats often disguise themselves as opportunities. If a chance demands immediate yes, it might be a leash. If a chance survives thoughtful delay, it might deserve a yes. Your delay filters out traps. Your criteria select only aligned paths. Aligned paths do not drain you. Misaligned paths always demand rescue. Rescue costs energy, and energy is the secret budget of winners. Protect that budget, and everything begins to appear effortless. When pressure rises, keep 5 anchors within reach. Breath, posture, pace, distance, and phrasing. Breath slows your inner clock. Posture reminds your body of strength. Pace controls rhythm. Distance protects boundaries. Phrasing shapes frames. These 5 anchors prevent emotional hijack, which is the main theft. With hijack prevented, your intelligence returns in time to choose well. Choosing well repeatedly is what outsiders call natural luck. Understand that real calm is not emptiness, it is deliberate fullness. You fill your mind with principles, priorities, and prepared responses. Preparation frees you from scrambling. Scrambling exposes weaknesses. You are not robotic, you are rehearsed for storms. Storms become rehearsals for mastery, not excuses for collapse. Collapse becomes rare because your structure carries you across heat. The structure is invisible, the results are visible, the credit arrives. Remember, your greatest advantage is attention neutrality under provocation. You do not reward attacks with drama, you reward clarity with access. Access to your focus is earned, never taken. When people learn this rule, tests reduce and partnership improves. This is how calm attracts strong allies without loud recruitment. Your network grows not by chasing, but by consistent signals of stability. Stability is magnetic in a world addicted to noise. If you forget every tactic, keep this single idea. Hold the frame that nothing urgent is decided under heat. Heat lowers intelligence, heat raises costly promises. Step back, cool the moment, then decide from standards. You will appear unhurried, you will appear precise, you will appear strong. The appearance is not performance, it is a mirror of your inner order. Inner order makes the outside move with little visible effort. You are not pretending, you are finally aligned. Now you know why some wins look weightless, while others exhaust energy. The difference is not talent, it is design, rhythm, and emotional governance. Govern your state, then guide the rhythm, then use gentle precision. Do this consistently, and difficulty starts bending around your presence. People will say you always land on your feet. You will know the truth, your feet were trained to find quiet ground. Are you ready to test this structure when the next silent trigger appears? You think confidence is shown through power, but real confidence hides in timing. Some people speak less, yet their silence fills the room. They are not avoiding words, they are controlling rhythm. Control begins where reaction ends. When you feel the impulse to prove, you are already losing precision. Proving means chasing validation, and chasing breaks equilibrium. Effortless winners do not chase, they align reality with inner rules. Each rule acts like a compass, quiet but firm in any storm. Those without compasses drown in opinions, those with direction glide through noise. You must learn to replace impulse with observation, reaction with interpretation. This switch looks simple, yet it rewires your whole system of influence. Interpretation is power disguised as understanding. When you interpret, you stop others from defining your meaning. Words are tools, but tone and pause decide their real weight. Never rush to reply, because urgency converts your truth into their rhythm. Every manipulator's first weapon is tempo. They accelerate the interaction until you stop thinking clearly. They count on your discomfort with silence, so they use it as a leash. The antidote is simple: stretch the silence until it bends in your favor. Every extra second you hold calm adds to your psychological gravity. Your gravity increases when your emotions stop chasing closure. Closure addiction is how controllers guide attention. They create gaps in logic, and your mind races to fill them. While you chase answers, they shape the frame that defines those answers. Effortless composure means noticing this bait and letting the gap stay open. An open gap creates discomfort for them, not you. Discomfort reversed becomes influence reversed. Influence reversed means you become the still point they must circle. That stillness is not passive, it is engineered quiet. To engineer quiet, remove attachment to image control. Most people waste mental power defending how they appear. They explain, justify, correct, and adjust endlessly. Image obsession is noise disguised as protection. But when your standards are internal, image control fades naturally. You begin to measure success by alignment, not applause. Alignment means your choices match your principles even when unseen. Applause shifts with mood, alignment builds legacy. When you hold alignment, your calm looks like authority. The second hidden layer of invisible winning is pattern neutrality. Pattern neutrality means you stop labeling others as enemies or allies too early. Labels create bias, bias blinds perception, and blindness invites control. Neutrality does not mean trust, it means data collection before judgment. You observe tone shifts, breathing pace, contradiction between words and eyes. You are not suspicious, you are strategic. Information collected without emotional filter is clean leverage. With clean leverage, you respond surgically instead of emotionally. Surgical moves require little effort but create high impact. This is why quiet minds influence faster than loud mouths. Practice the art of slow acknowledgement. When someone provokes or compliments you, pause before replying. Pausing creates a mirror effect. They hear their own tone louder. Many manipulative tones collapse when mirrored back through silence. Their performance loses rhythm, their hidden aim starts showing. You need not expose it. The exposure happens through absence of reaction. Reaction is fertilizer for manipulation. Withdrawal is drought. Under drought, false motives dry up, and truth begins to surface. Understand the dual law of visibility and mystery. Visibility builds credibility, mystery builds gravity. You must reveal enough to be trusted, but hide enough to remain unpredictable. Unpredictable people cannot be easily manipulated because scripts fail on them. But mystery without purpose becomes arrogance, and arrogance breaks balance. So tie your mystery to calm precision. Speak less about goals, but execute visibly with results. Your silence must feel intentional, not empty. Intentional silence is power, empty silence is confusion. You will know the difference when silence feels steady, not defensive. Your emotional discipline is tested when perception turns against you. People will misread your calm as coldness. They will test your patience with mockery disguised as curiosity. They want to see cracks because cracks confirm their comfort. You must deny them this confirmation by staying fact-focused. Facts are your shield, reactions are their bait. Ask clarifying questions, not defensive questions. Clarifying questions shift power from emotion to structure. Structure kills chaos because chaos feeds on confusion. This is the essence of invisible dominance, clarity without aggression. Watch how often people use indirect pressure. They may use group opinion, implied deadlines, or emotional appeals. This is called collective leverage, designed to trap your state. Your defense is inner detachment, not external fight. Detachment is not avoidance, it is selective engagement. You choose where your energy enters, not where emotion pulls it. You enter conversations only where principles, not pity, are involved. Once you practice this, people start adjusting tone before approaching you. They sense boundaries without you announcing them. This is the mark of silent command. It teaches through atmosphere. Observe your internal dialogue carefully. Your inner voice decides how others read your outer calm. If your thoughts are frantic but your face is still, people still feel chaos. Vibration precedes language. Emotions leak through microexpressions. So your goal is not fake calm but rooted calm. Rooted calm is built by observing sensations without story. The moment you stop narrating pain, you start mastering it. Pain unlabeled becomes energy. Labeled pain becomes identity. Energy can move strategically, identity stays trapped. Convert identity-based reactions into energy-based awareness. Next, recognize the law of inverse effort. The more you try to control perception, the less control you have. Control comes from alignment, not performance. If you appear effortless, it is because effort was spent in preparation. Those who skip preparation perform effort on stage. Those who prepare deeply appear effortless during execution. This is the invisible formula of ease: heavy planning, light presence. Light presence feels magnetic because it transmits peace instead of pressure. People follow peace because it promises psychological safety. You become the calm gravity others orbit. To deepen influence, practice the principle of delayed recognition. Let others feel ownership of outcomes that served your design. Never rush to claim credit. Silence after success multiplies your power. When people think they won freely, they stop defending ego. Ego rested becomes open, and open minds move your way easily. This is not deception, it is elegant leadership. Leadership that forces awareness meets resistance. Leadership that allows discovery plants loyalty. You are not manipulating, you are orchestrating harmony through subtle timing. Every manipulator depends on your need for fairness. They exploit it by creating imbalance and waiting for your correction. You will overcompensate, and that overcompensation becomes control leverage. To counter this, accept asymmetry calmly. Not every imbalance deserves correction. Some reveal deeper structures. When you observe imbalance without fixing it, new information arrives. That information shows true motives faster than any confrontation could. Your refusal to rush justice is not weakness, it is observation maturity. Observation maturity allows strategic fairness, not emotional fairness. Cultivate detachment from the outcome of single interactions. Short-term reactions destroy long-term influence. Losing a moment can win a lifetime of trust. Always ask, is this reaction building or burning credibility? Credibility is your silent weapon, earned quietly, lost loudly. Protect it by choosing restraint over temporary satisfaction. Temporary satisfaction feeds ego, restraint feeds authority. Authority built through restraint radiates calm influence without effort. When authority radiates, persuasion becomes invisible. Never reveal how much you know about emotional patterns. Keep your analysis private. Visible analysis invites counter-analysis. Quiet observation lets you stay one frame ahead. Frames control reality. Whoever defines the frame controls meaning. So define frames through tone, not argument. A calm tone says, I am not threatened by this moment. And people subconsciously mirror the tone they respect. Respect follows composure faster than logic can. So when in doubt, lower tone, slow pace, shorten sentences. You will find noise losing its grip instantly. Learn to detect when people disguise chaos as urgency. The louder the noise, the more fragile the control beneath it. Observe this pattern and respond with minimal movement. Minimal movement signals supreme self-trust. Self-trust translates as power even before words appear. Your stillness becomes a mirror reflecting their disarray. Mirrors make manipulators uncomfortable because they reveal their reflection. The moment they face themselves, their rhythm breaks. That break is your opening, but take it with elegance, not pride. Pride invites counterattack. Elegance closes the loop silently. Every strong mind must master selective invisibility. Invisibility means choosing when not to react, when not to shine. You do not hide from fear, you hide from unnecessary noise. Each quiet exit protects future entry points. Presence is currency, spend it only where it multiplies. People remember scarcity more than abundance. If your attention is rare, your value multiplies naturally. You are no longer trying to win, you are choosing when to appear. Appearing by choice makes every action look calculated. That is the psychology behind invisible effort. Remember, your calm is not for decoration. It is a boundary system. It teaches others how to treat you, even when words are absent. Each pause is a rule, each silence is a line of command. But command without compassion becomes tyranny of tone. So maintain empathy as your unseen warmth beneath structure. Empathy keeps your strength human, and humanity keeps power sustainable. Cold systems collapse under stress. Warm systems bend and survive. Bend, do not break. Adapt, do not surrender. And when everything tests your calm, remember this law. The storm never lasts, but the observer always does. Now ask yourself, when silence feels unbearable, who is really controlling the rhythm, you or them? You think control comes from dominance, but the strongest control hides inside awareness. Most people react to words, but masters react to energy before words even appear. When you sense before others speak, you already lead the exchange. Every interaction carries two layers, the visible message and the emotional current underneath. The visible message says what they want. The emotional current reveals why they want it. Most people answer the message, not the current, and that is why they lose leverage. To win without trying, you must decode the current before you respond. Notice tone first, rhythm second, eyes last. Tone shows emotion, rhythm shows control, eyes show intent. When tone and eyes disagree, trust the eyes. They never learn to lie well. You can train this awareness by slowing perception. Before you answer, inhale once, exhale slowly, and ask silently, what is the motive here? This single question shifts your brain from reaction to observation. Reaction burns energy, observation earns information. Information is the real battlefield, not noise, not volume. Every emotional wave you decode calmly is one invisible victory. Power psychology begins when your focus moves from defense to direction. Defense means you protect yourself from harm. Direction means you guide the flow. The calm mind does not block force, it redirects it. Like water moving around stone, it bends pressure into shape. That bending is not surrender, it is redirection. You use the force that was meant to break you to build your rhythm. Each emotional storm becomes fuel for quiet confidence. Observe how people who chase respect often lose it. They perform confidence, exaggerate calm, and overuse words like control. Their energy screams insecurity, dressed as wisdom. True quiet minds never announce composure, they demonstrate it. Demonstration means your energy remains identical before and after pressure. If your tone, breath, and expression stay equal, aggression becomes noise in silence. Silence magnifies their chaos and exposes their weakness faster than arguments can. This is why calm people seem dangerous. They make others face themselves. Learn the rule of emotional mirrors. Every emotional signal you send reflects back multiplied. If you show irritation, irritation grows. If you show stillness, stillness spreads. Energy follows pattern, not morality. The manipulator knows this and uses it. They test you by feeding chaos, hoping you feed it back stronger. When you refuse, the loop dies in your silence. The one who ends the loop owns the rhythm. Own the rhythm, and you own perception. Hidden persuasion begins not with speech, but with state. State means the emotional climate you radiate before any word. People read state faster than logic, faster than reason, faster than truth. A stable state creates automatic trust, even when words are minimal. You can build this state by 3 simple anchors: slow breathing, lowered shoulders, focused gaze. Slow breathing calms your internal tempo. Lowered shoulders signal safety to observers. Focused gaze transfers stability through presence. These small signals whisper authority without claiming it. Authority whispered lasts longer than authority demanded. Remember, the human mind seeks 2 things: safety and certainty. When people feel both near you, they unconsciously follow your lead. They follow not because you commanded, but because their nervous system relaxes near you. Relaxed people stop resisting guidance, and that is influence at its purest form. You did not dominate them, you aligned their comfort with your direction. This is how power without effort is born, from emotional alignment, not intellectual debate. Next, study the law of subtle framing. Framing means deciding the emotional lens through which others see a situation. Before an argument begins, the frame decides who must defend and who must define. Most lose influence because they enter others' frames. To stay effortless, you define context silently through phrasing and timing. Instead of "you are wrong," say "there's another angle worth checking." Instead of "you need to understand," say "let's examine what the facts suggest." Each small linguistic shift recenters authority on your calm. People feel guided, not corrected, and their ego stays quiet. Ego silence equals open influence. Psychological mastery is not about controlling people. It is about controlling state transitions. A state transition means the shift from calm to fear, from clarity to confusion. The moment you see it coming, you can freeze it. You freeze it by acknowledging emotion without feeding it. Say short, neutral phrases like "I see" or "noted" instead of explaining. Acknowledgement freezes escalation, explanation feeds it. Most people overtalk under stress and lose authority through leakage. Each extra word weakens presence, each pause rebuilds it. The less you leak, the stronger your frame appears. To stay internally unshaken, build emotional compartments. Each compartment holds a category of experience: pressure, praise, rejection, delay. When something enters one, it stays there until analyzed later. You don't let today's heat spill into tomorrow's calm. This containment prevents emotional blending, which drains energy. Energy conservation equals psychological advantage. The observer who feels less chaos can see more patterns. Patterns reveal motives, and motives guide strategy. One hidden reason why calm minds seem unstoppable is memory design. They remember data, not drama. Drama-based memory traps you in feelings. Data-based memory frees you for learning. When you replace emotion recall with pattern recall, confidence compounds naturally. You stop saying "I was hurt" and start saying "I learned timing from that." Language choice rewires identity, and identity governs reaction. Identity built on calm analysis cannot be provoked by noise. You are no longer a reactor, you are an analyst with compassion. But awareness alone is not enough. You must refine delivery. Delivery is how you transmit strength without friction. Speak slower than normal when under stress. Slow speech signals dominance of time, because fast speech signals fear of interruption. Control of time equals control of narrative. When you speak slowly, the listener unconsciously measures your pace as confidence. Their breath synchronizes to your rhythm, and influence becomes physiological. You no longer convince minds, you guide nervous systems. Your calm voice can disarm threats faster than logic can. Logic enters late, tone enters first. So every tone choice is a silent command about hierarchy. A steady voice says you are safe. A rushing voice says you seek approval. Approval seeking kills authority faster than visible anger. Remove need for approval, and persuasion becomes automatic. People trust those who do not need to be trusted. The invisible leaders of any group use a tactic called emotional minimalism. They say little, feel deeply, and express selectively. Their selective expression makes every word valuable. Value comes from scarcity, not abundance. When you speak less, people assign depth even when you say little. You are shaping perception without exaggeration. Each pause you hold becomes a moment of interpretation for others. Their mind fills the space with meaning that serves your silence. And so, silence becomes your amplifier. Never compete for emotional validation, redirect it. When someone seeks a reaction, respond with a question about principle. Principle breaks emotional bait. For example, instead of defending yourself, ask, "What standard do we both agree on here?" This shifts focus from emotion to logic, from chaos to clarity. Clarity is your terrain, chaos is theirs. When they must define the standard, their manipulation collapses under its own vagueness. Your emotional intelligence is measured by how much calm you can maintain during distortion. Distortion means when people twist facts to test your structure. Never rush to correct. Time exposes distortion better than debate. Reality rebalances truth without your effort if your composure remains intact. Truth always returns to calm because chaos cannot sustain itself. You are that calm, waiting for truth to settle naturally. You might think this is passive, but it is strategic patience. Strategic patience is not waiting. It is observing until conditions align perfectly. You let others exhaust energy while you conserve yours. When their energy dips, your single movement decides the outcome. That single movement looks light, yet it ends the whole exchange. They will call it luck, you will know it was design. Your design relies on rhythm control, emotional distance, and inner stillness. These three form the architecture of unseen influence. Without rhythm, you react. Without distance, you absorb. Without stillness, you leak. With all three aligned, you become a mirror that cannot be shaken. This is why the quiet ones always win slowly and completely. They never rush to conquer. They simply remain unshaken until chaos folds. Chaos always folds because it burns its own fuel. When the noise ends, calm remains. And calm, over time, rewrites every definition of strength. So the next time someone tests your limits, remember this. They are not testing your power, they are testing your emotional architecture. If the foundation holds, the attack turns into respect. And that respect becomes the energy that fuels your invisible victories. But here lies the deeper secret. If calm can influence others, what influences calm itself? You think calm is permanent, but calm is built moment by moment. It bends, reshapes, and sharpens through friction. The test of mastery is not staying calm when safe. It is staying calm when observed. The moment you are watched, your biology starts performing. Your breath changes, voice shifts, and awareness splits. People read those micro-changes like signals of truth. Invisible winners understand this performance and use it consciously. They prepare their nervous system to stay identical in private and public. When state and image match, others sense integrity without words. Integrity without effort becomes authority without force. That is the final layer of invisible influence. Authority born from calm is different from control born from fear. Control demands compliance, authority attracts respect. You cannot fake respect. It is the body's natural submission to stability. Humans trust consistency more than charisma. You do not need to be charming, you need to be the same. Sameness builds trust faster than passion ever can. Passion fades after thrill, consistency deepens after storms. So be the still point in a world addicted to motion. The still point becomes the magnet everyone unconsciously seeks. Next, remove the last illusion, the need to appear good. Goodness can become another cage if used for control. You are not here to prove moral superiority. You are here to remain clear. Clarity allows empathy without attachment. You can care deeply without being captured by emotion. When someone cries, you listen fully, but your mind tracks the rhythm beneath it. You do not drown with them. You stand on stable ground and guide them out. This is calm compassion, the mark of real psychological maturity. It wins trust faster than any loud sympathy ever could. Every master of invisible power follows one internal law. Never fight chaos on chaos's terms. When you fight noise with noise, you become part of it. The quiet strategist knows the only true counterattack is centered stillness. Silence makes opponents uncomfortable because it denies them control of tempo. Tempo decides emotion. Emotion decides perception. So when you slow the tempo, you slow their influence. They lose rhythm, you regain control, and control feels effortless. Now examine your triggers closely. The world will constantly test where your calm ends. It will attack through urgency, judgment, praise, and misunderstanding. Praise can trap you as fast as criticism if you start needing it. Every word that defines you becomes a string attached to you. Cut those strings gently, not by rejecting praise, but by seeing through it. Say thank you with detachment. Gratitude without dependency is pure strength. Once no word defines you, no attack binds you. You move through approval and rejection like wind through leaves. You are still, yet everything around you adjusts. The essence of winning without trying lies in emotional minimalism. Minimalism means you express less, reveal less, and attach less. You act through clarity, not reaction. You do not suppress feelings, you simply do not broadcast them. Unbroadcasted emotion becomes internal data. That data fuels future precision. Precision creates elegance, and elegance is power made beautiful. Beauty and restraint makes even enemies lower their tone. You disarm them without ever raising your voice. Learn the rule of invisible reciprocity. People mirror the energy they receive, but in hidden ways. When you offer calm, others unconsciously adjust their tone. When you stay consistent, they start respecting boundaries without instruction. But when you break your calm once, you teach them volatility. And volatility invites manipulation again. This is why discipline must live quietly inside your posture. You must carry calm like an internal law, not a choice of convenience. True mastery begins when calm stops feeling like effort. The hidden architecture of power psychology ends where simplicity begins. Simplicity means you have reduced every reaction to one question. Does this serve my inner order or not? If not, you disengage instantly, without guilt, without performance. You no longer need to win, you simply stop losing energy. Energy saved becomes clarity earned. Clarity attracts opportunity, the way light attracts vision. When you act from clarity, everything you do looks graceful. Grace in its pure form is control disguised as kindness. So understand this, power without ego looks like peace. Peace is not absence of fight, it is mastery of timing. You do not fight every battle, you choose the ones that shape perception. And when you enter those battles, you win them before they begin. Because your calm already defined the tone, and tone defined the outcome. This is why the quiet win feels inevitable to observers. They think destiny helped you, but it was your discipline all along. The illusion of effortlessness comes from ritualized calm. Every ritual you practiced, the breath, the pause, the silence, became invisible in public, but alive inside your body. Your nervous system no longer flinches. It listens, measures, responds. You do not need to prove control. You are control embodied. And the world senses that instinctively. When chaos approaches, you no longer fear it. You welcome it as confirmation that your system works. You see the storm coming, you slow your breath. You observe every voice trying to pull you from center. You smile quietly because you know what they do not. Chaos feeds on reaction, and you are no longer a source. They cannot drain what no longer leaks. Effortless winning was never about manipulation. It was about energetic balance that bends outcomes naturally. People follow stability the way water follows gravity. You have become that gravity, soft, silent, certain. Your influence now moves without noise. Your words land without repetition. Your silence ends conversations without argument. And when someone finally asks how you do it, you will only say, I stopped fighting for control and started mastering calm. That single shift turned storms into mirrors, turned conflict into study, and turned effort into design. So remember, true mastery is not about doing more. It is about being less reactive. When the world expects noise, bring stillness. When they expect defense, bring clarity. When they expect effort, bring rhythm. Because in the end, power is not in motion, it is in control of motion. And the one who controls rhythm wins without ever trying.